What was your biggest professional triumph? And it can be personal as well, and more than one.
Probably, well, good. I'm glad it could be more than one. I think, there have been different phases of my life, I guess. In the early part of my life, as becoming a lawyer, but then I was very fortunate that I practiced with a boutique firm that had a healthcare focus on it. And being part of a boutique firm, which is a small firm but very focused, we represented several national associations of physicians, and they were all over the country. And we also established a foundation so that these associations could take up causes and raise money for causes. So I spent the early part of my career testifying in D.C., working on cases across the country to help shape healthcare policy. And you can do that when you're in a small boutique firm. You can be very Don Quixote-like, So those were certainly defining moments, particularly because so many of those cases, quite frankly, helped shape healthcare policy for years and years to come. The Nucleus project has been a project that has helped define my life. I have a passion for that. I love working with Dr. Ramsey. I love working with him and helping carry out the vision that he has for the university and continuing to build the research parks in this community. So those are also sort of defining.
Project.
Thank you.
Now we've got several things here. I want to change gears a little bit in the interview. Well, we've got several jars up here that
this
the audience.
Look very strong-willed, does it?
Right. Well, you said it. That our audience has probably been thinking to themselves for the last 10 or 15 minutes. Why don't you walk us through that, and then we've got several pictures to look at. And so,
sure.
Go ahead.
Well, one of the things I enjoy doing whenever I ever have a few minutes, and maybe it goes to my farm background, is that I enjoy canning and preserving. I do a lot of farming. I have a farm.
That's great.
My parents are still on a farm.
She has time for a farm.
Yes.
Just saying.
I farm on the weekends. I go out with my father, and he's still my father still has his farm. I go out and help him. My husband and I have farms, and so besides corn and soybeans and all that we grow and cattle and so forth, we also grow a lot of vegetables, and we also go to farmers markets. And
now, you get out there every weekend, you said, or how often?
Oh yes, almost every weekend.
Beautiful.
I have to. My dad needs to.
That's awesome. That is so awesome.
So I will pick. These are all things that are either grown. We have orchards. We have gardens, and so the fruit. This is apple butter. This is my grandmother's recipe. I brought her little recipe book. I just couldn't help it. Bless her heart.
Great.
This has her apple butter recipe in it.
Stories.
Do you think this has seen some?
Yeah.
So
a lot of cooking's gone on.
A lot of cooking has gone on in this, and of course, cooking is a huge piece of growing up on a farm. And I was showing some of the other folks across the way. It has a recipe for mincemeat, but then on the back it has a whole thing for 1,000 pounds of sausage and 1,000 pounds of meat that you cure. So this is truly
now a cooking show.
An authentic country woman's cookbook. But this is her apple butter recipe. I always say her magic ingredient is 1/4 of a cup of apple cider vinegar, and it gives it that little twang.
I got you.
These are pickled green beans along with the serrano peppers that we raised on the farm. I think I've got tomato.
Me and my wife would get along great.
Tomato thyme jam or relish up in the front. I've also got all kinds of herbs, as you can imagine. This is my personal little recipe that I came up with last year, and everybody loved it, and I tried it on several chefs. This is a bourbon ginger pear jam, and it's good. And if you're really nice, I might just let you take that home with you.
Still no alcohol, right? Just checking.
It's got alcohol in it.
Okay. I just want to make sure for the audience.
Strawberry jam. Our strawberries were beautiful this year. And then this is my zucchini pickles with peppers that are raised there on the farm, along with the onions we raised. And it's got a kick to it, too.